You got him. Nope. All right. So this is book club. Today's book is Batman 121, which was Matt's choice, and we will give it on over to Matt. Take her away.
Hold on to grab the glasses. Make big make D big so that people can
You
see
can show the cover.
Yeah. Mr. Zero, a new supervillain, begins pulling incredible robberies off in Gotham City with the help of his gang and his ice gun that he has created, of which one barrel shoots out acetane flame and the other a fast freezing gas. Batman then tries to stop the. Batman tries to. Oh my God. Okay.
This is why you just freeform it, Matt.
Yes, I know. Batman tries to stop the gang, because the gang likes to rob diamonds. There we go. The gang likes to rob diamonds, or ice, as they use in thieves' language.
Mm-hmm.
They try to steal from a jewelry exchange. Mr. Zero freezes the
safe,
the
window,
the ground underneath the dynamic duo skates and stops them. Later in his lair, Zero you discover that everything in there is cold in the environment except for a warmed couch that the gang sits on. He tells a new employee of the gang his origin, where he had an accident where he was saturated with the cold gas solution that is currently used in his gun. He lost the ability to breathe at room temperature and now has to live in an artificially cold environment, such as his lair or in his Mr. Zero outfit costume.
He has to be at zero temperature.
Yes, he has to be at all times or he can't breathe. Batman and Robin try to stop a subsequent robbery of a visiting prince and princess. They're here with some very, very expensive diamonds. But their bat ropes are frozen mid-swing, and when the heroes attempt to use the ice slide that the robbers used to escape, Zero melts it with his acetate flame.
Mm-hmm.
Batman and Robin attempt to follow him to his lair in their whirly bats, but Zero manages to freeze the propellers and takes them prisoner and freezes them in giant blocks of ice. Batman manages to rock his ice cube enough to smash it open.
He didn't smash it open. He hits a pipe.
Yeah,
that's hot.
I wrote that. I'm getting to it. And manages to free Robin because he breaks a steam pipe when he moves his cube. He manages to slug Mr. Zero before the villain, enveloped in a steam bath, can use his weapon. Seconds later, Zero is gratified that the steam bath has restored his breathing technique to normal, and Batman hopes that the law may be able to normalize his criminal mind. This is the end of the story. Mr. Zero is happy about not being, freezing again. Of course, it doesn't work, and he returns in Detective Comics 373, this time as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
So,
all right, make Matt big again.
373.
Yes, I looked up his next appearance so that I would get it.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that it was his second appearance. I thought it was just the renaming of him.
Yeah, it's his second appearance where they renamed him. He was only Mr. Zero once. Now, I think that it was a very interesting backstory. It's been changed, obviously, thanks to the animated series. And
animated series made it way better.
And the animated series made it way better, but it's still an interesting, for 1959, it's an interesting origin. Although what I don't understand is because in subsequent appearances, Mr. Freeze does not use any fire gun.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a feature only of the Mr. Zero story.
Okay.
Now, the story itself was only like just 8 pages, I think, right? So
Very short story, yeah.
it was very short, but still, you got a full, complete story with an origin. Them doing things, Batman and Robin coming. For what happens, it's actually quite a logical story. Although I would think being encased in ice, Batman and Robin would have actually been in suspended animation as opposed to
Yeah.
be in a position to go like this. And, and of course, for convenience sake, the trope of, there's the pipe. Oh, look, it burst.
Yeah.
Free, But I mean, you're going to get those in Silver Age, early Silver Age, 8-page to 10-page stories. You're going to get these little, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah.
So,
I was kind of expecting him to have something in his utility belt that would melt the ice. I was kind of expecting that, but it didn't happen.
well, he keeps an acetate little thing in his utility belt as well, just a tiny one that he has used to melt through manacles and various other things over the years, like ice, like when the Penguin in the Iceberg Lounge not too long ago, actually, he pulled it out and he used it from his utility belt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Dee would hold up the cover real quick again, I would appreciate that way I can give my cover thing. So the cover itself, it's 1959. And it's actually, I think it's really well done. It is one of the better Batman covers of this era, because a lot of them are silly. I mean, the stories were silly, right? So a lot of the covers were silly, like the Rainbow Batman or the Rainbow,
I actually like those ones, by the way. But
Bat Baby. I'm not saying, I like them too, but they are still a little ridiculous. Like Bat Baby was just the whatever, right? So this cover, I actually give a 3.75.
Okay.
I like it. It's very colorful. There's details on it. It's inside the lair, and those are icicles hanging from the roof. That's not like the Batcave with stalactites. Those are frozen cubes, icicles. I mean, and so I like that. The interior art, I will give it a 3. Because it's good, but not great. Again, the color is pretty interesting. Whoever colored this book and this story, it's very gaudy, but it works here. Like it's all strong colors. There's very few, like, other than the road gray in the back, there's very few light colors or negative colors. Everything's bright. Just the way I like my comic books. Garish and great. But it's a 3.5. Okay. Now for the writing. Again, it's a nice little story.
Hold on. You said 3, then you went to 3.5. So it's a 3.5.
Sorry. Go with the 3. Go with the 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry. I got confused there.
That's all right.
Go with the 3. The writing, however, it's a good little complete story. You get the introduction of a villain. You get, here's what we're doing. We're interested in diamonds. Okay. There's no, whatever. Batman correctly deduces that they're going to be going after the prince and princess's diamonds. And, back in the day that with the crimes, that was the type of story. They were able to figure it out usually pretty easily. But bang, bang, bang. The story feels complete. Other than, hey, I'm cured all of a sudden and I'm smiley about it. I'm happy to go to jail. Other than that, at the end, I think that it's a pretty strong story for the shortness it is. So I'm actually going to give the story, and this is why I picked this in the advance. I've liked this story for a while. I'm going to give this story a 4. And overall, I'm going to give it, the book in general, overall, I'm going to give it a 3.5 because that's sort of where it would stand. If we were doing the whole book would go down because one of the stories really stinks. I did read the whole thing. That's just my.
I read the whole thing too. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
that's my scores.
Thank you, Matt. Very well done. I appreciate
And
it.
I'm
It was
going to
almost-
pick Biggie to go next.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. I've never read this before. I like first appearances a lot. I did enjoy the interpretation we got of, like, whenever I see a character for the first time on panel, I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There was the ice tropes, you know. You got, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't like a thinking. I'm glad I didn't make me think too much, but it almost didn't make me think enough. You know, I'll say that. The cover, I think, is a fucking masterpiece. It's one of the best Silver Age
That's what I was gonna say.
Batman covers. So I'm a Kurt Swan fan. I've kind of grown into being a Jack Burnley more fan than Kurt Swan, but they're pretty much tied. Like I recognize Kurt Swan as the master he is. This is a top 5 Kurt Swan cover for me. I'm gonna give it like a 4.75. Stand near a 5.
Oh my goodness, your review is stealing my review already, Biggie. That's awesome.
Sorry.
It's so funny.
4 point. It's almost a 5. Inside art.
TM's here, by the way, in the chat.
I don't. Oh, TM, come join the panel so we can get your grades.
Hey, he messaged you on Instagram saying that he's been sick. Yeah.
Oh, well, you can give us. Oh, okay, good. We'll take your. I'll write those.
ratings.
Yeah, I'll write those down after I'm done. All right. Inside art. I believe is Kurt Swan too. It was a little lackluster. It felt like, almost like Batman or Detective 27. Like it was very similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
So
This is before Swan completely developed his style. He's still new at this comics game.
I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it enough to give it a big high score. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Why,
For
is
story,
copying you?
me and Alan tend to be on the same
funny.
page.
I was gonna give. You're giving the same scores as I was gonna give so far.
Oh,
it's crazy. It's yeah. Okay, go ahead. If you keep on doing this, I'll be really annoyed. But okay.
Yeah. So for story, I kind of disagree with Matt. Like, I feel like this was kind of lame. For fucking, I might be not on the same boat with Alan now, but
okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think it was that good. It kind of got the job done. It was quick. It felt like an ash can or something short to me. I don't know. It just it wasn't what I expected, so I'm just gonna go with the 3. Better than average. It was still fun. And then overall, we'll give it a 4. It's a great book. Don't get me wrong. And I'll pick Alan next. Oh, let me write down TMs and then we'll go to Alan. All right.
So that was really funny. It's like almost the same scores as I was going to give Biggie. Almost.
Nice. Well, can someone read TM scores to me?
Cover 2.5, 2.5.
Hi, Chihuahua.
Art
like
3.
Okay. What the
story?
Fuck?
Story 2.75.
Okay. Thank you.
And overall 2.75.
Wow.
Damn, he really didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
All right, Alan, I'll make you big.
Not Buddy Baker, right?
Hey, man. To each his own, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm teasing you, TM.
So for me, I really like this book. I love the cover. I agree with Biggie on that one. You'll hear a lot of similarities between mine and Biggie's summary. I think the cover is just such a classic cover. I think I've mentioned this multiple times, but I love seeing the powers expressed when you see that first appearance. I like seeing how you kind of already know, just looking at the cover, you know, this is a guy that uses freezing as his power. Also, when I looked at this cover, I got this major nostalgia feel. Just, I grew up watching like the Batman 67, like the reruns.
Yeah.
And I would always see the scene where they're trapped. They're either dangling over some acid barrel, or they're gonna get, like, there's dynamite all around them, they're gonna get blown up, and the bad guys always walk away, but there's always something happening where they're captured in some way, they're in bondage or whatever. This had that feel, and it just, whenever I see it, I feel like these weird nostalgic kind of feelings. It just really makes me love the cover. I love seeing the character. He's kind of a little goofy. He's a little goofy on the cover.
I know. He's a little goofy in the story too. It's the faces. Hey, I can breathe again.
Yeah. So, but I the Batman animated series made me love the character. Like, really love the character.
Yeah, but that's not fair, bro. That's not. You can't fucking do that.
I know. Batman 66. Sorry, I'm saying get the wrong year.
Oh man.
So, but because of that, I have that extra love for it. So I'm going to give the cover a 4.75.
Cool.
You might have heard that some number.
Yeah. Another thing about the cover before you go on,
Yeah.
I love how the white cave or ice or whatever kind of looks like the header. I fucking love that. Anyways.
Yeah, no, it really works. I think it's a great cover. So it's not a 5, but it's close, is my point on that. And for me, the interior art, I would give it a 3.5. I thought I like art that's functional, like much more than art that is like over the top. Like, the issues that I had with a lot of the X-Men ones that we reviewed was that it was over the top in trying to be like really grand, but it wasn't functional. It didn't really move the story forward, or didn't really tell a story. It just was like, I don't know. This was more functional, and it got, all the key points. What's going to happen. You could visually read this story and know exactly what's happening. I love when art can do that. Also, like, one of the things that I really liked about this book, and this story in particular, is the fact that you get to see not only the bad guy's powers, and you get a little bit of that cheesiness where he's like using all these puns almost about what he's doing. He's stealing ice. It's like, he is a freezing guy, so there's that ice and freeze thing. But you also see Batman's powers, and you see the way he thinks. You see him bringing in different things like his Batcopters and his different, he's investigating. He does things where he throws like sand at them when they're trying to get away. It gets blasted. Oh, was that the previous story? Was that the other story?
Yeah, that was the other story.
That was the other story. Okay, but my point is, in the book, there's other stories where you see him as a detective. I like the first story where they had to find out why there was a guy murdered in the Batcave.
Yes,
I thought that was actually
that one was okay. The other story was eh.
Okay, so I like that one because it was a bit simplistic in terms of, this guy didn't threaten me with revealing my secret identity, therefore he must not be the murderer. But I liked the way that story progressed. It was a really cool story. With Mr. Freeze, I liked the fact that he had the bat roller skates. He had the bat, all these like gadgets. Yeah. I'm a big 007 fan, and I feel like Batman has a little bit of the gadgety things. I just love that. I think as a kid reading this, you'd be like, "Oh, Batman's so cool. He has all these little gadgets." And
keeping in mind that these short story, these are for 12, for 10 to 14-year-old people.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
the
So
stories aren't long. It was thought back then their attention spans were, not long. Gee, really?
yeah, I
You
can
know,
imagine what they thought about the kids nowadays. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it would only be one panel nowadays. Um, so, um, but I enjoyed it. I thought I give the story a 3.5. I would have given it higher if it was the first story. I actually liked the first story. I would have given that a 3.75. Because I really liked the quirkiness of it. I thought it was an interesting story. And overall, I'll give this book a 4 because it is greater than some of its parts. It is introducing a major first appearance, and I feel like the interior stories were actually really good. There's just a lot a lot of value in this book in terms of like I find modern books would maybe capture one of these stories. I feel like this book, even though they're shorter stories, you're getting a lot more value in each story. There's so much more being told. You get a real sense of the personalities of the characters and stuff. So
it's not just that too, but you get those little small strips, and you get the written story as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first strip I thought was really interesting. It was like the library one, the powerful library card. It's like, okay.
The one I found weird is the one where the guys bring back the gold to the robbers, and it was the grandmother. Like,
yeah.
This is where'd this go?
Yeah.
It just stopped.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was interesting.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay.
All right, and back from his Mexican retreat, we have D-Runk with his scores this week. So continue on.
Yeah. So we got our cover here. The cover, man, I didn't like it as much as you guys. To me, I have it at a 2.5. For one, I hate this version of Batman. The bat symbol is very weak. There's no yellow circle around it. It's not very large and pronounced. Like, I'm okay with there not being a yellow circle around it, but then I want it to, but this is like a representation of like my least favorite Batman type of art. So that right there throws me off. Mr. Zero is holding what looks to be like a tea kettle, which is a very weird looking gun. I thought that lacked imagination for a ray gun that can shoot ice and fire. Not my favorite. And I also hate word text on a cover.
I love that.
I knew you would.
I like
for me. Yeah, no, for me, and your guys' cover scores reflected that, so I'm not mad at you for it. But for me, I hate word text. If you have to, for me, word text on a cover usually means the cover isn't that great. I don't know. It messes with me. Now, what do we do next? Inside art?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you give the score? What was your score?
He gave it 2.5.
2.5. Oh, yes, 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first panel of the book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dude, that dude looks like a knockoff Lex Luthor. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
You then scroll over to Batman. What the fuck happened here? Now, maybe you could be like, oh, he's distorted through the ice, but Robin isn't.
Right.
Robin looks fine. Batman looks like he had a stroke while he was drawing.
Right.
Okay, that's not okay. And Kurt Swan is a fantastic artist.
Right.
Not at this moment. This was bad, really bad.
Yeah.
And y'all called it out. Like, dude, look at Freeze right here. He looks like Peter Pan with a space helmet. Like,
yeah,
so bad. And then
kind of charming in a weird way. No, it's really weird.
Yeah, no. Here he looks like fucking Beavis or something. Like, it's
he's
so
a little
weird.
too smiley. I feel you.
He's very smiley. Yeah, he is very happy.
Oh, I love Robin for Ice Diamond.
Yeah. And then, dude, like one of my least favorite panels was this one right here. I saw that. I was like, oh my god, what is that?
I don't know.
I would like to
don't
know
know.
where he's
What
getting the ammunition for the gun. He's got this big tank on his back, and it's not connected to the gun at all.
No,
Okay.
there's like a
Well,
little hose. You can see.
Yeah.
I think the tank is powering his suit. Is what I got, and the ammo is in that giant like
Kettle?
tea kennel looking thing.
Yeah.
I thought there was a little
It's-
hose.
dude, he's got holes in different area codes. You know what I'm saying? Like that is just dude. I literally, I'm not kidding you. I'm not a good artist, but I
You could do
drew
that.
Batman. I drew Batman better than this when I was in 4th grade.
Right.
I'm not trying to be funny. I literally drew Batman better than this when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
Inside art, man, I give that, dude. If I can draw one of the panels, and it's one of the bigger panels, it's not a tiny little thing where you can't put a lot of detail in it. This is a big piece of the page. I give this a
love it.
1. I give it
I
a 1.
love this. This is fucking great for me because people think that D's a Superman fan, and you hear this right now, guys.
But, dude, I love Batman too. I don't drone on about him because most people like Batman. Like,
I'm just saying, this
Like,
is Kurt Swan. This is our guy, man.
yeah. But
But this is
yeah,
early Swan where he's still they never matched him with great inkers until he
I think it's great.
at the point with George Klein.
D
But
does
here's
not
the-
hesitate, man. He does his
yeah.
thing.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing. Like a lot of times when I'm giving a review on a book and giving a score, and it's a little lower, I don't suffer excuses on why something isn't good. Like it doesn't matter who it was made for, what it was meant for, who drew it, when they drew it, when in their career. It's
I
either
had to
good or it's not.
No, that's good. That's like fucking Alan
No,
when he
that's
said
fair.
the freeze from
Admittedly-
the adventure. Like, who gives a fuck about that? This is the story right now.
Admittedly, I was shocked to find out it was Swan. 'Cause
Yeah.
I looked it up afterwards, and I'm like,
Keep
no,
it a
that's
buck,
not-
D. Keep it
The
going, bro. I
art
love
gets
this.
better
Yeah.
with
Beautiful.
Swan.
Yeah, no, it's and then so yeah, the interior art gets a 1.
All right.
Dude, the story.
Okay.
Now here's where you, Alan, you gave it maybe, and you almost kind of admitted to it, and Biggie kind of snapped at you for it, but you may have given this book a higher review because of your love of Mr. Freeze and his
Yeah.
newer origin story.
No,
It-
I admit my scores are biased, right? I'm not.
Which is cool. Like that doesn't bother me one bit. Like Biggie was like, you can't do that. Like you absolutely can do it. It was your review.
I mean, if you want to do that, yeah.
Yeah. For me, my love of Batman the Animated Series and that origin story made me hate this
Okay.
story so much. Like, and I get it. Like the animated series invented that modern interpretation of Mr. Freeze. So I knew that's not what we were going to get here.
No, yeah.
I came into that
But
fully.
I like the
Yeah.
fact that there was elements of that original story that was in the modern version. I
Yeah.
actually liked, there was still the accident in the lab. There was still
But
little bits
what-
of the same things. I know.
What I hated
know.
here-
It was like
here-
it was like
and-
3 panels or something like that they defined the whole story. But
And not only that, but he was like already a crime boss before that accident happened.
I know, they changed
like-
up a lot,
Yeah. So
and they took out the romance of it too, which is
Yeah.
Well, the romance was added later, right? So
yeah. And then, like where you talked about how like you got to see Mr. Freeze's powers or Zero. And then you commented on Batman's powers. And this is Batman of that era. But I hated the gadgets back then. But they rolled in on jet roller skates.
Yeah, that's
What
so
an
cool.
impractical way to chase someone down. Dude, like I could have gotten Batman off my case with a bag of fucking marbles. Get away from me, bro.
Just did by freezing the ground underneath.
I did
I
like the
know.
Batmobile in one of the stories. I can't remember which one, but the Batmobile looked like a completely different Batmobile. in
Yeah,
one of the
dude,
stories.
roll up in the Batmobile. And Freeze still could have frozen the ground and made him spin out, but the Batmobile makes sense why you would pursue a vehicle in a
With and the
car.
vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but I could have clapped these fools with a bag of marbles. Like, that's so dumb. Um, and then yeah, the little helicopter thing was stupid. That
Yeah.
did not show prowess, in my opinion. Like, it just blindly flew into this hole in the ground that
Right.
against an enemy that they know has a freeze gun that can freeze things. Like, how wide open did you need to leave yourself to?
Right.
It was, and then the part, and you guys already mentioned it before. If you get frozen in a solid block of ice, you ain't rocking that bitch. Like, you're in
Yeah, I
suspended
was debating
animation
about
now.
that. I was trying to debate the physics of that. Can you rock
No,
if
Well,
you're
that was
no,
what I was thinking. For every, if you don't die, your
if
processes
you
are
don't
still
die, you be
your
dead.
your
Yes.
processes are still going to slow down so much. You're not going to have the time to think about
Yeah.
doing that.
well, even if you could, if ice is encapsulated every, piece of space around your body, you don't have any momentum to move and rock. Like, if it was an empty glass or ice case, then yes, you could have swayed back and forth. And I could see how like a Superman or a Hulk could, flex and bust out of it, man. But he just rocked back and forth like he had momentum on his side. Like, that ain't okay.
Superman
Um,
just has to look at them with his heat vision.
yeah,
So
but
when I'm reading this, I know I totally get what you're saying, D. Like,
yeah,
I grew up reading the '90s Batman, right? That's when I really got my introduction to the way Batman has been redesigned. And he's much more a serious character. This is much more the Batman '66 TV series
Yeah.
kind of style Batman, where it's the big
That
goofy
whole
Silver Age.
that whole early Silver Age was like that, like especially the
Mhm.
Yeah,
detective,
absolutely was. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is why in '64 when they switched it and gave him the yellow thing, Carmine Carmen Infantino and Julius Schwartz were given 6 months to make the book start selling, or they were canceling Batman because like the sales were bad from this kind of goofy stuff.
Mhm.
yeah. And yeah, so I'm on the story score. Like, man, the story gets a 1, man. Like,
All right.
it was so simple. I didn't find it cleverly cute and oh, it was only 8 pages. It was good for 8 pages. Like, no, man. Like,
Yeah.
it was not a good, fun story for me. It
Mhm.
it barely made sense. And these characters are so silly at the time. I don't find it enjoyable. Like, I would give
Mhm.
most Batman books in this era a similar score
Yeah.
because it's not my Batman. I don't find joy in reading that. Like, I found joy in reading it because, like, I'm cool with reading it, and it is an 8 pager, so it didn't hurt my life at all. But I don't. While reading the story, I'm not going, "Oh, that's cool." That's no, I don't appreciate it. It's not meant for me. Not hashtag not my Batman. Overall, I'll give this a 1.75.
I did think the story was the weakest part. So I agree with you on that part. So all
Mhm.
right. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll tally up the score and we'll discuss our opinions now. Now we can all have free range on what we want to say.
I like the fact that later on his name is Victor Franz, and it's actually Freeze the way they pronounce it, right?
Yeah,
So Victor Freeze, which is
And
French fries.
I don't know if you guys have read. You talk about the romance part.
Yeah.
There's a story in Rebirth where he finally succeeds in waking Nora
Same.
up,
Okay.
and he only to find out that the day before she was frozen
Oh yeah.
and killed, she had filed for divorce.
That's jerky. Why would they do
I
that?
know, but she got up and she's like, "I hate you," and
That's
she became an
terrible.
evil. I know, but she became an evil person who went after him. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's
The
bad
things
writing.
they did.
That's
Yeah, I
that's
know.
bad
The
writing.
things they
Hey,
did.
New 52 did it worse. So New 52 made it so that the story of that you knew from the animated series was more of a delusion that he was living in.
Yeah,
He was in
Oh
love
my
with her,
goodness.
but from a distance, and everything that was
It
love
was a
about them
creeper.
was made up in his head.
Oh,
And
that's
now that
terrible.
yeah.
she's frozen, she can't walk away from him. She has no choice but to be there with him. And yeah, it like they ruined that story
Yeah,
on
New
two different
52
occasions.
also. Yeah, New 52 also ruined Man Bat with making Francine Langstrom using him to get the formula as a
Oh,
type of
really?
industrial espionage.
Why do they do
Like
these kind of things? Like, why? Why
the New
retcon and
52
why?
tried to be dark DC, right?
Oh my goodness, so dumb. Like that's just like insulting to the
All right, our total
original stories.
62.50 is our total.
So that puts it in the lower half, but near the top of the lower half. 62 point what?
50.
Okay, so Batman.
Oh wow. Callie wrote, did you read the one where they showed Victor Fries being the doctor that delivered Bruce Wayne as a baby?
Oh, I did
No?
not read that.
Is that an
That's
Elseworld,
crazy.
Callie? Sounds like an Elseworld to me. I should have considered that book. We should do that Elseworld one day. I think that I was a little like, okay, whenever Alan said that he, was thinking of the Batman Adventures, I gotta say I'm guilty too, because when I read Tech 27, I thought of Batman 89, the movie. So I do let things get in my mind.
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
so.
we're influenced by what we've experienced in
Yes.
our lives. Yeah, I mean, but I always admit my bias, right? Like I said that I was feeling the whole time, like when I looked at the cover, when I read the stories, I felt, wow,
Thank
this
you.
is so Batman 66. I got the year right
Well,
now.
the thing about the
I was
Silver
like,
Age Batman was it's so inconsistent. You've got this period, followed by the 2.5 year period where Infantino and Conager and what's his name, Julius Schwartz made him good again and a detective a bit. Then you got the campy show, so the comic had to match the book and got a little campy. And then Neil Adams came along and the Bronze Age began.
yeah.
With Denny O'Neil. So Batman in the Silver Age was so up and down, and the style kept changing.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like Batman of the '90s better. Actually, I really enjoyed the Dark Knight series.
TM, I did mention that he used his heat to melt the slide that Batman and Robin were following him on.
So I had 9 books I'm considering. I was thinking of Deadpool 1, the Spider-Man, Superman, where Doom and Parasite were a part of it, the Spider-Man and Superman by themselves, a Mr. Miracle book, which wasn't my favorite, but Year 1 Doomsday, which would be the beginning of Hunter Prey.
I love that book. I love that book. There's like 8 Doomsday short stories in there. It's really cool.
It's fucking good, yeah. This one is a spec of mine. It's the first African American Spider-Man. I feel like people should learn about this one. So this.
Oh, really? Is that one? What is that? Spider-Man?
It's Peter Parker Spider-Man number 35.
Oh, I'll look for that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a great one. This is a really good Deadpool story talking about depression. I like this one. This is the Turtles book with Jack Kirby in it as a cameo. And this is an Iron Man story that I just like, where they battle with Merlin and Doctor Doom in the past.
Oh, I know that one. That's not bad.
It's good, right? Yeah. Got great inside art. So I considered them all.
I vote for Doomsday Annual or Deadpool Depression.
Yeah.
I like that Iron Man book.
I like
But
the
that's
Iron Man
me.
book too. These are all pretty good, but
I'm not familiar with any of them, so I'm open to anything.
I like them all. But
All right, Jerry one it is.
I'm gonna go with the year one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jurgens it is. Just to kind
Well-
of close the door on our Hunter Prey, just to see if this matches up.
Well, and Jurgens doesn't do all the art in the book. It has a bunch of different artists that do art for that one. It's a pretty cool story though.
Yeah, next
TM, we have done a few Marvel. It hasn't been all DC. We did Captain America 1. We did that whole X-Force, X-File, X-Men.
The X-Men.
That thing. We've did the What If book.
What If's 30? Yep.
We did
Yeah.
FF40.
Oh yeah, I've done Gwenpool. I've done.
Yeah,
That's one of the
we've done
highest
quite a bit
rated
of
books in the
Marvel.
Marvel book.
We did the first Black Panther. We've done a lot of stuff. So, I might have let the inside art get a little bit better grade because I knew that like it could have been Kurt Swan, and the cover. I give a fuck what y'all say. That's a fucking masterpiece.
I love the cover.
Oh, it's
When you think
a
of Batman or
great
Tech
cover.
Silver Age, that's one of the ones you remember. That's very. There's a reason why. Like when you see that, you're like, oh shit, that's important. You know. So
Yeah.
I could have very easily given the book 4 to 4.5s all around. But I mean,
The story was kind of weak, dude.
like, there's
I
definitely
let
a better
the
free
things-
story.
see, here's my bias. I grew up reading these Silver Age short
Yeah,
stories.
but Superman Silver and Batman Silver's two different things.
I
Superman
know.
Silver is fucking good. This
Actually, I
but
think
I also
Flash
had-
has the best Silver Age, but
who?
I
Flash?
think Flash.
I think
Flash was
Superman.
really
I like
cool.
Superman.
The problem with Flash Silver Age when 6-year-old Matt was scared of the puppet, and therefore when we was
I
turning
can
into a
read
puppet,
Superman
therefore I didn't
Silver
want
all
to
day.
read any of the Flash.
Matter of fact, if I was to like do Brainiac instead of the Freeze, I would think that would get better scores because it's got a lot of stuff going on in it. You know, maybe even the first Supergirl. I've never read either one, so
Well, the first Supergirl is actually a pretty weak story. It's
okay.
a little
Well, I'll
too,
skip it.
it's a little too Deus Ex Machina. Oh my God, you're the only Kryptonian I've ever seen, and you're my cousin. Like,
Oh, is that it?
I know,
That
it's
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, in the first Brainiac, you get to learn about the city of
It's a small
Kandor,
universe,
so
Matt.
it's
Yeah.
probably pretty good. Anywho, we'll be back in a week with year one. I've read this before, so it'll be an easy week for me, and I think that it'll be good. I think you guys will like it. We'll see if our
I'm pretty sure I'll like it. I like
our
Doomsday.
opinions have varied since we started because it's very much like Hunter Prey in my opinion. So we'll see.
Well, it is, but it's the whole thing is about Doomsday, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some really cool moments in this book.
Yeah, if you didn't know Doomsday before this book, this is probably the best book to know his like origin, know shit about him book.
Yeah, one of the Hunter Prey ones did a pretty good story of his origin, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so am I
second
wrong?
issue.
Am I wrong in saying this is the prelude to Hunter Prey, or is it after? What would you say, guys?
I don't think it matters really because like
It teaches
you
you
know-
what he is before he gets to Hunter Prey, though. Like this definitely
no.
is a prelude.
But it works reading it before or after it because like
Right.
before Hunter Prey, like if you read Hunter Prey without reading this, you know that Doomsday is the monster that killed Superman, and this is their rematch. And then they give you more backstory on Doomsday in Hunter Prey.
Now, is this a one and done book or is it a series?
Yeah, it's just a one and done with a bunch of little short stories. It's cool.
Yeah, it's an annual. I love annuals. I think you guys
Yeah,
will
that
enjoy it.
year
What
there
up,
were a lot of
Legion?
year one stories in the annuals.
Anyways, we'll be back Friday. I think that we'll just kind of give it a couple days to sink in what we're. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to announce my giveaway and try to figure out a way to maybe get some comments in the chat or on my stream, or I'll introduce the way I'll do the giveaway. It'll be 2 weeks from Friday when I actually do the giveaway, but it'll be a whole process. So we'll do some fun stuff Friday too. All right.
Very cool.
So Matt,
Speaking
you had a
of-
really
sorry, speaking about giveaway, the person who won my first prize of the comics has told me that I can give it to someone else because apparently it's going to cost me a pretty penny where he is because he's somewhere in Europe, and he doesn't want me to spend that much. So he is willingly giving up his prize. So I'm going to, the next time I do a live stream of some sort, I'm going to pick a new winner.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say you had a really fun Superman show. I'm going to try to make the next one. You say it's in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, if you want to come on, Biggie or D, I mean, you're both Superman fans. Get a bunch of books together to show, and you could come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you invited me to the last one, didn't make it, so I thought I'd try to make the next one. So go make sure you sub up to Matt. He's doing giveaways and stuff like that, and good to have D back in the States. We'll probably see some more D. And Alan, he has a Friday hangout. And what was your most recent video, Alan?
Today I was just doing my Q&A, and tomorrow though it starts this newest unboxing from hell.
Boxing from Hell.
Yeah, it's just where my books were lost for a little while.
I can't wait to see that Witch's Tale.
Yeah,
or no,
every
what is it?
episode is great. Actually, I finished all the recordings now, so it's 16 episodes, and every single one has like awesome books.
Oh,
Damn.
no, you've told me some of the stuff that's in this. I'm looking forward to the next.
Well, I just showed you. I
16
showed you a
episodes.
couple of the books that were.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking forward to these ones.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a week with Year One Doomsday, and then it'll be D's selection on the next book. So see y'all later, man. Thank you for watching.
I'm gonna pick a long